lot of people lose a lot of money with options because they don't have the fundamental building blocks in place. And some of these important fundamental building blocks are the option Greeks and the payoff diagrams. So in this tutorial, over the next few sessions, I'm not only going to introduce the various option Greeks like delta, gamma, theta, vega, and also talk about the implied volatility, but I'm also going to demonstrate how these option Greeks are connected to the option payoff diagrams and how the Greeks are linked to each other. So pay attention, because once you have these fundamental building blocks in place, you are going to be in the position to understand several of the advanced strategies that we use in moneywisesmart.com. And in MoneyWiseSmart, unlike what most option traders do, we do not speculate using options. We use options to generate a lot of cash flows on an ongoing basis. And here we are talking of several hundreds of thousands, if not seven figures. And this cash flow helps us to fund our long-term investments. So let's move over to the tutorial. And on your way, can I request you to smash the like button and subscribe to our channel. A lot of time and energy goes in creating these videos, and it really helps us with the YouTube algorithm. And also, if you have any comments or if you have any topics that you would like us to cover in future, do mention in the comment box, and I promise to address each and every of them. So let's move over to the tutorial. Thank you very much. Now, for everything that we do, we are going to draw a lot of pictures, and for everything that we do, just understand this, that on the x-axis will be our on the x-axis we will have our P&L. Okay. So on this side we have the profit. On this side, we have the loss of our positions, and on the y-axis, we show the share price. Okay, so let's say if we have purchased the stock at $10 per share, so that is shown on the y-axis. Okay, now what we are going to do is, let's say we have purchased one share. Okay, so here the payoff diagram is going to look at something like this. If you have purchased one share, so this is like if I separately draw time on this axis, and if I draw the stock price or share price on this axis, so basically we say that the stock started at 10 when we purchased it, that is today. And if over time, let's say the stock price has gone up like this, so if we have purchased, let's assume that we have purchased one share. Okay, now if we have purchased one share, if the stock price has gone up from $10 to $20, then the value of our holding has gone up, right? So that is like, that will be reflected on this which is we have just made $10. Okay, so as long as the stock price stays at $10, our P&L is $0. Okay, so similarly, if the share price, let's say, goes up to $50, then let's say this is not to scale, then we would have made $40, right? So this is how a typical payoff diagram looks like. I mean, this is the payoff diagram of a simple stock. So I hope there is no confusion as far as this is concerned, because this is going to be the most basic payoff diagram. If anyone has any confusion with this, can I just see a raise of hands? Because after that, everything that we are going to do will follow this. So just type yes if this part is very clear to everybody. Yes or Y. Just type Y if this part is clear. I want everybody to be very clear about this, because this is the most basic payoff diagram. And it's absolutely okay if it's not clear. Just let us know, so that
so that we go over it again. Okay, so now I said that initially you purchased one share, right? So let's say instead of one share, if you have purchased 100 shares, so then for the share price going from 10 to 20, your profit amount will be $1,000, right? Let me just and share price going from 10 to 50, your profit amount will be $4,000 because here you have 100 shares. Okay, so this is the payoff diagram for 100 shares. Okay, now who understands that? Now you all know what a call option is. Now who understands that a stock is basically a call option with zero strike price and an expiry date that is infinity. I hope this part is clear. Can I say this, that a stock is basically a call option which has a strike price of 0 and an expiry date which is forever. Effectively, a stock never expires. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to visualize a call option from that point of view. Now, if I tell you that, let's say I have a call option which gives me the right to purchase a stock, right to purchase this same stock at $10. So this is the strike of the call option. Sorry, this is the strike of the call option, which is $10. And let's say the person I bought the call option from, that person has been very generous and did not charge me any time value for the call option. Okay, now we know that option premium, which is premium, it has an intrinsic value, and it has a time value. Okay, so if my call option does not have any time value, can you visualize this? Then the payoff diagram of my call option will be something like this. Let me take a different color so that it becomes clear for you to understand. So if that is the case, then my payoff diagram of the call option will be something like this. What that means is that as long as the share price is above $10, my call option will be profitable. That is, so let's say when the share price is $15, my position's profit will be here. If I draw the straight line, and if I draw this, now one call option controls 100 shares. Okay, so then my position's profit will be $500, right? So effectively, what I have just done is I have drawn the payoff diagram of the call option on the date of expiry. And we know that just at the time of expiry, the call option has no time value left. So which means that if, let's say, the share price drops from $10 to $5, then this call option has no value, because this blue line is same as this black line, because there is no time value. So my position profit is 0, and I also don't make a loss. Okay, so as you can see that above this strike price, the payoff diagram of the call option is exactly same as the payoff diagram of the stock price. So till here, is it clear? The payoff diagram as of the expiry date. Just type Y if it is clear so far. Okay, good. So I have quite a few Y. Now today I will be, in the interest of time, I will only be talking about call options, but you can imagine that a put option is nothing but a mirror image. If I have to draw the payoff diagram of a put option, and let's say I choose a different color, I choose this color. So the same put option with a $10 strike will be something something like this. Now the share price can't fall below 0. So this is how the put options payoff diagram will be. So this is the call option with no time value. This is the put option with no time value. This is how it will look like. Okay. So everything that we draw with the put option is like, if you just hold a giant mirror at this strike price. So the put option is just the mirror image of the call option, the payoff diagram of the put option. Okay. So today I'm going to stick to the payoff diagram of a call option. You can just, apply the same for a put option. Okay. All right. So let me go and clear all drawings. So now let's look at it like this. So let's say I will so here I have I will use this stock price as the reference. So let's say I purchase the stock at $10 and the stock is going up like this. So I keep this as reference, and with that reference I go and only take the call option. Okay, so this is how in the last diagram we saw that I explained to you how the call options payoff diagram will look like when there is no time value in the call option. Okay, so this is how it will look like. Now let's say if we inject some time value, so we know that it's not possible to have a call option without any time value. So if we inject some time value in that particular call option, effectively for the same stock price, let's say at $10 strike, what it will look like is my entire payoff diagram will shift in this direction, right? So my call options payoff, the strike is still $10. My call options payoff will have a parallel shift, and this difference is the total premium that I will be paying. Okay, so let's say I have paid a total premium of $2. Okay, I have paid a total premium of $2. So which means that, and the strike price is still $10. The strike price is still $10. This is the $10. This is the $10 mark. So, and this is the zero. This is the $0 position profit on this side. On this side, I have my profit zone. On this side, I have my loss zone. Okay. So for this particular call option to be profitable, the share price cannot stay at $10. The share price has to go up above $12 because I have paid $2 for the call option. So only above $12, this payoff diagram will cross into the positive zone. If the share price stays below $12 while it is above the strike, so let's say if the share price is at $11. Now you can see the call option which had no time value in it will be profitable, but this particular call option which has time value in it, this will not be profitable because this point, the point at $11 is on the loss zone. So for this particular call option to be profitable, the share price has to be above $12. So till here, is it clear to everybody? Type yes. Type yes. Today I'm going to ask for your feedback, and I'll wait till I see that you guys have understood. Okay. All right. Great. So that's great. You have understood this. Okay. So let me.
Hey, Rupam, while you are drawing, just from a premium standpoint, sometimes we can benefit from the premium, is it? So if I bought a $10 strike call option at $2, And when the share price becomes $11, I can still sell that call for say $2.50, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So I will
Absolutely.
still make some money. I will still make 50 cents, right?
I mean, how much you'll make will depend upon how much time value is there in that call option when you're selling. But yeah, absolutely, you will make money.
Okay.
Okay. So if till here it is clear, so we basically see that again. We say that this is the strike price of the call option. Let's take our standard color. So this is the strike price. So this is our payoff diagram of a standard call option. Okay. Now this is $10. Okay, the strike price $10. Okay, and let's say the premium that we have paid is this, which means if the share price does not go above $12, this is $12. If the share price does not go above $12, our call option will be in the loss zone. And if the share price stays below $10, then I will lose my entire premium. That means, let's say if the share price is somewhere here at $5, which means I have to see where the expiry where the expiry line will be corresponding to this. And here I will be ending up losing $2. So my maximum loss on this call option is $2. That's why below $10, this line is parallel to the share price line. Okay, so that is my maximum loss. Unlike let's say when I buy a stock, now you remember the payoff diagram of the stock. If I'll just extend the payoff diagram of the stock. Let's say this is the payoff diagram of the stock. So if you bought a stock, your payoff diagram will be like this, right? Because your loss will keep increasing till the share price goes to 0. So at $0, your loss will be, you bought it for 10. Let's say you bought a stock for 10, and if the stock price goes to 0, your loss will be you have 100 shares, your loss will be minus $1,000. So that is how it works. Okay. Hey, sorry, I made one mistake. Now here my loss is not $2, it will be $200, because you remember I paid $2 premium for the call, but one call contract controls 100 shares. So my total loss will be $200. Okay, for my call option. So $200. Okay. Now, so far we have just been seeing the expiry line. Now this is the payoff diagram, which is the payoff diagram on expiry. But as we know that if I go and buy this same call, and let's assume that this call option expires in 3 months' time. Now, if I go and buy this same call option today, then the payoff diagram of the call option will not be straight line. The payoff diagram will look something like this. It will be a curved line. And that is how option payoff diagrams are. Because options, you have to understand that options are not linear instruments. Options are derivatives. Okay, so what this means is that, let's say today when I am buying this particular option, just hold on guys, this pen is giving me a bit of a problem. Okay, all right, so today when I'm buying this option, let's say this is the total time value that is there in the option. Okay, let's assume that I have paid let's say this is $11, and let's say I have paid $1 of time value, okay, buying this particular option. Now what happens is, as the option nears expiry, we can imagine that this red line has to move towards the expiry line, right? The red line has to move towards the blue line. So what typically happens is that after I said that the expiry is in 3 months. Now, let's say after 1 month time, our payoff diagram will look like this. So after 1 month, the option has lost some of its time value, and this payoff diagram would have moved closer to the expiry line. Okay, which means that this much time value has been lost in this option. Okay, and on expiry date, this payoff diagram will go and merge with this blue line. So effectively, what I'm saying is that for every option, the payoff diagram, the easiest way to understand the payoff diagram of the option is to think about its expiry payoff diagram, which is just that, that L type of a figure, which is that light blue line. But as we inject more time value, this is the portion where as we inject more time value, effectively this is the portion which is the time value that is there in the option. Now, the intrinsic value of the option is very easy to understand. If you know what the option strike price is, and if you know what the current share price is, it's very easy to understand the intrinsic value of the option. So let's say the current options strike price is $10. Okay, and let's say if the share price has gone up from, if the share price has moved up to, let's say, $15, that means that there is a $5 intrinsic value that is built into this option. Okay, so this is the intrinsic value that is built into the option. Okay, now here I started saying that we have just one contract. Right now, if instead of one contract, I had 2 contracts. Okay, so just think about this. Now, at $15 for one contract, and I'm talking of on expiry date, if I want to calculate how much profit I will have, this will be the amount of profit that I will have. Can anyone tell me in dollar terms how much will this be? For this particular option, one contract, any guesses? I paid $2 for per contract, and now the share price is at $15. So how much profit will I have? What should I write here? Anyone?
$300.
$300. That's right. $300. And why is it 300? Because $200 will go was paid for the premium. So over and above 12, which is the break-even point, over and above that, there is $3. So there is equivalent profit of $300. For $3 movement in stock price, because I control 100 shares, I will have $300. Now, imagine if instead of having only one contract, if I have 2 contracts, so then how will my payoff diagram look like? So let me go and erase this part first. Okay. Now, instead of having one contract, if I have 2 contracts, then let's try with blue. That's easier. Sorry, don't bother about the arrowhead. It got reversed. Okay, so instead of having one contract, if I have 2 contracts and the strike price is still $10, that means for 2 contracts, I will be paying a total of $400 in premium, right? If one contract costs me $200, so which means that when the share price is, below the strike price, my payoff diagram has to start from here, which is minus 400. This is minus 200, right? So this is how you think of the payoff diagram. So it has to start from here because it's 2 contracts, right? Now, till $10, the strike price is still $10. So till $10, my my expiry line will just be a straight line, because if the share price stays below this $10 mark, that means I'm losing $400. So it has to be a straight line here. But above $10, it will start reducing its losses, and finally you can, what do you think will be my break-even point if I have two contracts instead of one contract? Any guesses? Who can tell me what my break-even point is? Because finally the payoff diagram has to cross this this vertical line at my break-even point. So can someone tell me what my break-even point is? Just unmute yourself and tell me so that I can hear you. Anybody? What will be my break-even point if I have two contracts instead of one contract? Unfortunately, when I'm speaking, I don't get to see the chat. So Perlin is saying break-even point will be 24. Richard is saying break-even point will be 11.
Should still be 12, no?
Exactly. Exactly. The break-even point doesn't change, guys. The break-even point will still remain 12, because what the break-even point is, that it is established per contract. So if I'm paying $2 per contract, which means the share price has to go up by $2 for me to be profitable. Now, just because I have bought two contracts does not change the break-even point, right? Because for each of these contracts, I have paid $2, right? So my break-even point will still be $12, but because I have more number of contracts, my payoff diagram, you see the payoff diagram slope will be much larger compared to this blue line. So which means that when the share price is $15, then I obviously will be making double the amount of profit, right? So my profit will become $600. Oops, sorry. So my profit will become $600. So is this part clear to everybody? Type yes if it is clear, type no if it is not clear, then I'll explain to you again. It's very simple. I have two contracts. Okay, the break-even point doesn't change. The break-even point still remains 12. So if I have one contract, then for $3 increase in share price, I make $300. If I have two contracts, then I make $600. So that is what I make when I have two contracts. Okay, so great. So most of you have said yes. So that's good to know. So now comes the concept of delta. Now, delta is the change in your position value. So this is the sign delta. Delta is the change in position value for $1 change in stock price. Okay, so who can tell me at this point, let's say if the stock price is $13, what is the delta of the blue line and what is the delta of the green line?
1 and 2.
Why is it 1 and 2? If my stock price goes up from 13 to 14, what will be the change in position value if I own only one contract?
Then from 13 to what's your strike price?
The strike price is still 10. Strike price doesn't change. I'm saying the stock price has gone up from 13 to 14. Okay, stock price has just gone up
because you have one lot only, right?
Yeah, I have one lot, and one lot controls how many shares?
100 shares.
100 shares. So then my
then your delta will be 100.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. 100 and 200. Yeah.
Yeah. So 100. So in this case, in case of the blue line, my delta is equal to 100. Okay. And in case of the green line, how much will be the delta?
Should be 200 then.
Delta is equal to 200, right? Now, what will be the delta for the green line and blue line when the stock price is $15?
So is it moving from 12 to 15, or it's moving from 14 to 15? The prices.
I said it's at 15. At 15.
Okay.
So delta is as of that point. It doesn't matter whether it moved from 12 to 15 or whether it moved down from 17 to 15. Delta is as of that point. So at $15, what is the delta?
Will it be 300?
300 for what? Which line?
For blue line,
So Nikita says 300 for the blue line. And what will be for the green line? So
600.
300 and 600. Earlier we saw at $13. $13, the delta was 100 and 200. Now I'm saying at $15, what will be the delta? So at $15, Nikita says the delta for the blue line will be 300, and the delta for the green line you said is 600. Apurv, you say you disagree. So explain why you disagree.
So delta shouldn't change, right? Delta is the variation with every dollar movement. So irrespective of where at that point of time the stock price is. So if from 15 the stock price moves by $1, the delta will still be $100, right, for blue line. So delta shouldn't change with the reference of the stock price. Delta should remain as per the contract.
Now, Nikita, let me ask you. So what was the thinking?
Because when you said for blue line 100 and for green line 200, I was thinking the delta should be same. Because when I look option chain, the delta don't change. It's the same number, so that's why I was a little lost when you put two numbers 100 and 200, and that's why I changed my answer.
No, 100 and 200 because the blue line controls one contract. Green line, the green line is two contracts. So that's the reason why when this was 100, this was 200, simply because the slope is higher because you have two contracts. For the same movement in stock price, you will make double the amount of money, right? You'll make double the amount of money. So that is the reason why the delta of these two positions. This is one position and this is another position, you know. So you can see my pen, right, on the whiteboard.
Yes.
Okay, so that is the reason why the delta was different. But as Apurv rightly said, and even you mentioned in the chat, but later you changed your answer, is that the delta does not change, you know, because this is a straight line. So it doesn't matter whether the stock price is at 15 or whether the stock price is at 1500. This is a straight line. This is, ask yourself this. Let's say if you have 100 shares of Apple, okay, and the share price goes up from let's say 150 to 151, then your position value will go up by $100, right? If the share price goes up from 1,501 to 1,501, still your position value will go up by just $100 because the increment in share price is just $1, and this is a straight line. So it doesn't matter whether share price goes up from 12 to 13 or whether the share price goes up from 14 to 15, the incremental profit is still will be $100.
So delta cannot be more than one or more than 100%. That's what
the delta is here. The delta is the number of shares equivalent at this particular point. The delta is equivalent to the number of shares. The delta tells you by how much will my position profit go up on expiry day, because remember that right now we are just looking at expiry lines, right? Because these are straight lines. So on expiry day, if the stock price goes up by $1, then how much will my position profit will go up by? So for the blue line, the delta will always remain at 100. As long as the share price is above the strike price, the delta will always remain 100. And for the green line, the delta will always remain 200 because it controls 200 shares. So for every dollar up move in stock price, the position value goes up by $200. I'm trying to say that in simple English for those of you maybe who have forgotten your high school geometry. But delta is basically the gradient of the payoff line, and because above the strike price the gradient remains the same because this is the expiry line. Okay, so we just heard the gradient of this slope. Okay, now this is all happening on expiry day, but you remember sometime back I showed you what happens pre-expiry. So before expiry, it is not a straight line. So what is the delta of this option when the stock price is at $5? So this is today's expiry date. The strike price is $10. Strike price is $10 and the share price is at $5. So as you rightly said, when the stock price goes from $5 to $6, what is happening to your position profit? At $5, your position is here. At $6, your position is here. So both are at minus $200 because this is a vertical line. So in this zone, the delta is equal to 0. Below $10, the delta is equal to 0, and above $10, the delta is equal to 100, right? So if you look at, that is delta per share is 1, but here we are talking of delta of the entire position, and the entire position is one contract which controls 100 shares. So that is how it is, and that is what this payoff diagram is about. That below 10, the delta is 0. It doesn't matter where it is. I mean, on expiry day, whether the stock price is 9 or whether the stock price is 2, the option position will have exactly the same result, which is this minus $200. Okay, so with the change in stock price, the value of the option position doesn't change. It still remains at minus $200 on expiry. So it is 0. Whereas above 10, the delta is 100. So if, let's say, the share price moves from 10 to 11 on expiry, I mean, I will still lose money, but I will just lose $100 instead of $200. Because I would have paid $200 for this position, and my option now has an intrinsic value of $100, because 11 minus 10. So, I can exercise the option to buy the stock at 10, and I can sell the stock at 11, which is the market price, right? So I will make $100 there, and I have already paid $200. So that is what it is. Okay, so I hope this part is clear. So effectively, the more, the gradient of the slope, the higher the delta is. So this will have a much higher delta. So this will probably be, let's say, maybe I'm controlling maybe 4 contracts here, which is controlling 400 stock. Maybe this I'm controlling 200. So that's why the delta is higher and higher. But below your strike price, the delta is 0. So I hope this is clear to everybody. So this is the most fundamental part.
Wow, the fact that you have stayed on till the very end shows your commitment. I hope you have benefited from the video. Now, we have created free preview for our entire option series program for you to take advantage of. You can join by clicking on the link which is available in the description section below. It's completely free to join, and we have shared several of our strategies, the case studies, and also free tutorial videos there. And once you join, you will also have access to all our future tutorials that we conduct for our preview subscribers. And before you go away, can I please request you to like this video and subscribe to our channel? Also, if you have any questions, please put them in the comment box, and I promise I will answer to each and every of them. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.